you wish you could go to black screen? It's pretty simple. All you have to do is just turn your monitor off and you're programming on a black screen. It's great. I wasn't programming. I was typing up all the things that I wanted to keep track of and make sure that we do. So the character hexagon, we have the level, which is just a platform. And then obstacles are going to have movement, called death, trigger. Let's see, our character is going to die, respawn, and jump. Our level of platform is not going to do anything. We also need to keep track of starting point. So if you die and respawn, we're going to put this under starting or respawn. Triangles move, and then we need one other thing. We need a game object. What do we call it? Obstacle producer. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything. And we have the die done. Oops. Like a random level generator? Kind of. It's going to be very simple, and we're going to say either put 2 or 3 together in a group, and then also have a randomized time window that we're going to say, I want a number between these two, and then have like a counter going with the time, and then just start putting them in. Respawn is done. No, it's not done. Jump is done. Call the death trigger. This one's done. Movement's done. So that one's done. I don't have any of these done. Time alive is kept track of. Respawn. Restart. Score timer. And the platform is done. Okay, so we have a couple of splash screens that a respawn mechanic that I want to do, and then an obstacle producer, and that is what we're going to do in an hour, starting right. I'm going to wait 15 more seconds, so it's really easy. And then it will be an hour and 3 minutes on the recording. That's what we're going for. Okay, what should we start first, Red, while I wait for the next 5 seconds? What do you want to do? UI, screens, respawn, or obstacle producer? Oh, and we're going. You lost your chance. I'm going to do respawn because you haven't answered. Obstacle producer. Oh, you would choose that. Okay. I'm going to create a new empty object here. Right, because the Deathbringer is going to go away. This is going to just have a script. Obstacle producer. Okay, on start. Okay, we're going to need to keep track of a couple things, and so I'm just going to put all this information down here, and I may get rid of it because I might not need it. But I want to do a serialized field and do a group. This is going to be an int, and this is going to be group size, and then I'm going to do a serialized field. Nope. And this is going to be and spacer. You guys should upload the mini games as standalone games and then combine them into the rogue game. I feel like there's still a lot of cleanup to do on these mini games that is going to make it so that I can't really do that. I'd have to put forth effort outside of these streams to get them cleaned up and full-fledged or at least standalone games. Eventually, I think what's going to happen is once I've done a certain number of these, I will probably go back and clean them up and turn them into standalone games. but I'm just learning the mechanics of Unity and trying to figure everything out. Okay, so the start I don't really care about. Group size, I'm gonna do this. What the crap? Why can I? Oh, because I set that up. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna do this. Min group size and max group size. I changed some of my keyboards to be Shift M, which is a bad idea, because when I hit Shift M to type in a capital M, it presumes that I'm starting to write a command, a short keyboard shortcut, and it doesn't really work. So I can only use lowercase m's apparently until I change my keystrokes or change my shortcuts to be something else. Blue, if you are in there, I am in Discord. So feel free to do that. So update. So I feel like I need to keep track of the time as well. And this is going to be a private time. And on the update, it should... what is time? Equals hash get type. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to do a double. This is going to be a horrible way, but until Blue gets here, we're doing old school. Okay, so actually I do want start. And we are going to say time equals 0. Actually, we're going to not do that. Can we do... Well, no, not what I meant to do. Nope. Okay. I don't remember the cool shortcuts of pulling this out into a separate function immediately. We are going to do this as a public void restart time. And in here, we're just going to set time to 0. And in our start, we restart time. And the reason why we do that is because when we respawn, I'm also going to want to restart this time in our score. So this one's going to be, let's do plus equals 1 time dot delta time. So as time goes along, and we're going to see exactly kind of what this is, so we'll get this later. Time equals that. Time on our scene info script. Oh, we're just doing score here. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's go ahead and get rid of this time. Obstacle producer. I don't care about, that's true. I don't care about time inside the obstacle producer. Red, why didn't you catch that? In the scene info script where we're keeping a start time, we're going to add a restart time. And this will just be score. And instead of time, restart time. And then we're going to change this name. Control R is rename this and all the dependencies in Visual Studios. And I don't know what that is in code anymore. Okay, restart score. Score is going to go to 0, which means we can call this whenever we die. We are going to want to show this score and then player. When the player dies, we have... Oh, we haven't done the singleton on this, have we? Yes, we have. So is this instance? Nope, I've already forgot. I'm sorry. I've got to go and look at the other one. Okay, Unity projects, mini games, breakout, and what do we call? There's the player script, right? Because as soon as the player died, I'll just load it up into this thing that's already up. Player script. Oh, that's what I'm on. Oh, that's really it. Death script. Game info. Right. So it would not be game info, but scene info script.instance. There we go. Dot restart score. Which that has a horrible name. Reset score. Okay, so when I die, score is reset. You only get one chance. We don't need a restart time. We don't need to do this in the updater. We don't need to start. I see what I was doing with time. Okay. Time plus equals time dot delta time. Right, that's fine. We are going to do math rand using math system.math using okay, this is where it's been too long. C# math rand. I know there's a collection. Just include a freaking generic collection. Is it just built in? It is. Okay. So this is going to be var auto. Isn't it just var? Yeah. Okay, what does random give me? Random gives me a random object. Let's see, new rand, var rand. Here you go, this is what I'm looking at. Rand.nextBytes, is that what was available? Yeah, so I'm missing. What do you need? What's the using that you need? Oh, come on. System.collections.math. Data. Numerics. Does it say here what it's under? Nope, of course not. I really thought this would be a very quick and simple thing. Here's an example, including the using statements that you need. What's a random generator? class Unity Engine .random. No, so it's just already included in the Unity one. So if I get rid of the Unity Engine, random is no longer a known type. But what is it? How did the developers of Stack Overflow code Stack Overflow? It's pretty simple. How do you generate a random number? I can't remember which library you load in. Isn't there just a math library? I feel like there was. I heard there used to be a better web page, and before that it was manuals. Yeah. I mean, there's always been kind of things out there. Yeah, where is the? Isn't there just a simple math one? I don't care. It's any random number. There's one in the Unity engine, but I don't know how to use it. So it does create a random object, but what does that object do? There's not a lot of options available. Which random do you want to use? The random one. That's the one. I thought there was just a simple tutorial, but Unity C# random. Oh my goodness. I see. So you don't create an object and store it. It is something that you can just use. Okay, so this what did this take in? A float. Okay, that's fine. So we have min group size and we have max group size, and this is going to be var group size, and then we have var spacer size equals random.range min spacer and max spacer. So what I'm doing here is I'm randomly, when we come into the, oh, this shouldn't happen here. That should not happen in here. Void, private void, get group size. What was I thinking? I don't need to be calculating a random number every time. It was Red's request that we do the random thing first. Okay, float the obstacle generator first, and then we have the spacer size. Float last creation time. I'm just coming up with these things right now. I don't know if they're going to be good values or good variable names. Okay, so we have time plus equals delta time. So if we do time minus last creation time and private float last spacer. Okay, so I create a spacer and this is the problem. I'm thinking like 2 steps ahead. Start. Okay. So if last timeline is the last creation time, is greater than am I gonna have to do? Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this. Is greater than the last spacer, then we're gonna do a couple of things. We're gonna do get group size, and then we're gonna spawn group size, and then we are going to do actually before we do this, we're going to do last creation time equals time, and last spacer is going to be down here. I wanted to do you didn't say respawn. I have chat. I can go up here, and you said obstacle producer. You did not say respawn. Don't give me that crap, Red. Okay. So last creation time is time, but the last so this would have to be a time object dot float. Is that what we did as time? Everything gets a float. Everything is float. Okay. I'm working through this. We always increase time. If time minus the last creation time means we've crossed that spacer gap, if that becomes bigger than our spacer, then we're going to put a bunch of stuff down and we're going to do figure out another spacing. So last creation time gets plunked here. We figure out a group size, and we need to spawn some of our prefabs, and then the spacer is going to be just for the next one. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go back. Not you. You die. Yeah, I have proof. Do I need to show it? Do I need to show it? Okay, there's nothing on here. Boom, look at this. Obstacle producer. For shame. For shame that you would try and lie. It's on the video. Everybody's gonna see it forever. Okay, I figured that the obstacle producer was going to be the most difficult one to put in. So I want to, on my endless, I want to bring Deathbringer down here. Let's go ahead and do 11, and we want to keep that. Just to keep track of things, starting location, and this is going to be 11 minus 2.744. Where's my start? equals new vector 2. Oh, right. F. Obviously, I can't tell what that is unless you put an F after it. Okay, so that's going to give us this starting location. I'm going to do here, and then we're going to do an offset based upon the size of this, which is, it's going to be in the, not the collider. Don't we have a, oh, we don't have a rigid body. How do you know what size this is? Info? If you want a function to run multiple times, you can call invoke repeating, string method name, float time. If you want a function to run multiple times, you can call invoke repeating, the method name, the float time, and the repeat rate. So your repeat rate was really your spacing, but that would give us a uniform repeat rate, right? With this random of the spacer, I kind of want you to have small groups to small places where you can land and bigger places and keep it random. But invoke repeating is kind of nice. Invoke a function after a delay at the end of the function with random delay. See, that's kind of, that I was thinking about that, but I was just thinking, would it be easier to place an object and then place an object at the start, a second or a third object with an offset of how wide these things are? Because then I can do give me the autocomplete. Sure. I equals 0, I less than, group size, that's not what I wanted. I plus plus, and then I can say, oh, I can't remember how I did this before, but basically, create object at starting location dot x plus spacer times I, and then starting location dot y. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about as I iterate over this. It's just put it here, and then also coroutines if you wanted to use them. Oh, I have seen coroutines, and I used to know what those actually meant, and I don't remember anymore. Oh, I just kind of duplicated all of that. I found some weird shortcut. Just letting you know it exists, really? Oh, okay. Which, I kind of like that. If you have an enemy always shooting constantly, or something that is a consistent repeat, I think that is a lovely routine. And in fact, I'm going to put this in here as a comment as something potentially to try in the future. And then invoke a random function after a delay at the end of a function. No, don't care as much about that one. Coroutines are, I can't remember, what are coroutines used for? Coroutines just yield their implementation and can resume later. That's what it was. I could see, I remember the yield break and yield other things. That's right. Do you still have to keep track of the timing at that point in time of when things need to happen? Because this is a very primitive way of doing it, mainly because I don't know about some of the cool routines. Coroutine is probably a better way to go about creating this whole thing. Instantiate. Nope, I don't want to instantiate the script. I want to bring in this guy. Whereas coroutines are conditionally returned to. Game info. I didn't get rid of it, did I? No. Oh, golly, that's annoying. Did I delete it? I started from scratch, didn't I? Breakout assets. Generate bricks. World info. Yeah, okay. And honestly, you can kind of go away. We don't need the game info, obstacle producer. But that needs to be bigger now. And it's going to be obstacle. Generate brick. So wait, is the instantiate not an object? You'll hop on VC after resume. Okay, no worries. Generic brick. Oh, because I set that up here. Right. Death bringer. And basically what this is a serialized field. Game object. Okay, so we have a Deathbringer. We come in here and on my obstacle producer, did I just have it? Okay, fine. We'll do it as a game object. We'll just do it as a game object and we'll change it in a bit. Okay, and then we can come down here. We can bring in our Deathbringer and put it there. And so that means we are instantiating a Deathbringer, and then some of the things that we want to do is we want to transform the position, set it active. And this is going to be position is what? Vector 3, okay. Vector 3, where we give it starting location.x plus I times our obstacle spacer. And then we're going to give it a starting location dot y, and then we're just going to give it 0. So I'm actually just going to copy this stuff over, kill this. I don't care about the layer. That was something else I was trying. I don't care about setting the parent. The parent's transform. Yeah, I don't care. I do want to add a script to it. This is going to be... This is what programming is. It's just reusing all of your crap. And then brick. So we're going to add a component, and this is going to be Deathbringer script. Is there anything on here that I care about? Player and speed. That's the positioning. What was the speed? Where's our script? Does this not have one? Oh no, we got rid of it too. I don't remember what the speed was supposed to be. Player is just going to be our character, and I don't remember what our speed was. Oh no, I think it was I was doing something weird on the Deathbringer script where I was doing a plus equals, minus equals, and then you do a plus equals, and then I think it was minus 30 or something.
Oh, okay. Well, if you do the plus equals, then you want to do the vector 3 dot left.
Okay, wait. Can you talk again?
Oh, if you do the plus equals, then you want to do vector 3 dot left. Yeah, because that's what confused me last week. It was like, oh, well, it should move left, but it's moving right. I was like, why is that? It's because you're, minus equaling.
I had that backwards, and that's kind of screwed everything else
Yeah, I
up.
mentioned that in the comments.
I read your comment. Go figure, right?
It was bugging me.
Okay, so we have...
I was like, why is it like...
Why is it not working? So if I save this as a prefab, I want to... Oh my goodness. Delete everything.
Oh, if you already have it as a prefab, then you just have to apply it. You don't have to make a new one or create a variant or anything.
Well, isn't it... This is its own object.
So when it's blue, that means it's a prefab. So, like if you exit that screen and go like the normal game screen, like if you click on it in the top right, see the overrides? Yeah, that's how you would apply. You would apply any changes you made to that object to the entire prefab.
So I have the player and the speed set here, but down here in my prefab, they are not set.
Okay, and the speed would be positive now because it's moving left.
No, because we're...
Oh, unless you said move right, vector 3 dot right.
No, I did vector 3 dot left.
Unless you're minus
and then I did a plus
somewhere.
equals.
Okay, yeah, you're plus equaling, so it's positive.
And the left is already a negative?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vector 3 dot left just means -1, 0, 0.
Okay, so I come here, I've set this, sure, we'll go ahead and do apply all. But when I look at this prefab, the speed is set, but the player isn't. Is that because the player is not a prefab? Does the player need to be a prefab in order for me to actually connect them?
Yeah, because otherwise the reference will break whenever you try to place it anywhere else.
Is that is my position still the same? Position is still the same. So this
Why does
needs
it need a reference to the player though?
What was I doing? So the player can die. The other... I don't know. What are we doing with the player? We're not doing
Yeah, it
anything
doesn't
with
look
the player.
like you call it at any point
Golly,
in time.
all this worth a waste of time.
But I mean, you could still prefab the player,
No.
I guess. Okay, or not.
Oh, this is when I go, I have 15 minutes left. I don't think it's happening.
What?
So close.
We were so close last week. What happened? What'd you do?
It's this obstacle producer. That is 100% what it is. So why is this red now? Because I have a missing.
Oh, it's just because you broke it. Just right click it.
Unpack.
And then unpack, yeah.
Okay. So this one, Deathbringer script. I shouldn't have a player anymore, so why isn't this updating?
Oh, did you save
Yeah?
the script?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It should update then.
Set scene info. So the only thing I have on here is my speed, which instead of putting it on, what am I using speed for? So, instead of a serialized field here, I'm going to have this just be a private. And then
It's
have
already private.
yeah, but I don't want it. I don't want it visible on the thing either.
In the inspector. Okay.
Yeah, set speed, float, new speed. And instead, I'm going to put that here. Set speed is going to be speed, and this is just going to be set on here. Everybody's saved. They're red. That's one problem in this file. What's the problem? Right, I don't have an obstacle spacer. I don't know what this is. Okay, so the new transform, this, and then we're going to set a speed on that. And it's active, so we're just kind of good to go. So this should create one. If I'm creating a group of 2, then I'll create 2 next to each other, a group of 3. So come back here. This
Alright, let's hope this works.
Deathbringer script. We are going to apply this to all. And this guy's doesn't have a speed, so it doesn't matter. He's fine if we just completely move him off screen. So this, we have the game object, which is called obstacle producer. Main group size, we're just going to keep this 1 and 2, and then the spacer, I don't know what this is going to be. How do I tell what the size of this is?
So it depends on the sprite and the pixels per unit.
Is that all in the polygon collider, where I actually have the collider matching the size of the sprite?
Oh, well, the polygon collider is that's your like hitbox. But if you want to know the size, you'd go to the sprite renderer, and it's basically what sprite you're using and how many pixels per unit it is.
And how do I figure that out?
So click on the sprite, and it should open up in the inspector, and you should be able to find. Okay, so pixels per unit. It says
4.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because it's on polygon.
Hmm?
Okay, I forgot you're using the auto thingy. Okay, so you'd have to do some math to convert it. I would say you probably just eyeball it. So the grid, I believe, if you haven't changed any settings, it should be a 1 by 1 grid. So it looks to be about the width of 1.
So we'll just do 1.
Yeah,
But
a
is
little
that
less than 1. It'd be you'd have to math it.
is that 1 inside the editor? That's not going to be 1. That's right, because hi.
Yeah, that should be 1.
Okay, so the obstacle spacer would just be 1.
Should be. I think the triangle is like less than 1. So if you had like a square, it'd be
Good night,
easy.
sweetheart. It's a triangle.
I actually
mean,
don't
just-
know the triangle formula.
But if it was a square, the bottom of the triangle, just consider that a square. What's the bottom of the triangle?
Well, no, because the way the triangle's drawn, it doesn't take up the full width,
Yeah, but that's fine.
whereas a square, I believe, takes up the full width.
That's fine.
So you'd have to convert the height.
Just say that it takes the
width.
full width. And if they are not immediately right next to each other, that's fine. If there's a small gap in the group.
Well, yeah. If you do 1, there should be like a tiny gap, and then you can just decrease it.
Okay. Okay, who's ready to see this thing crash
Was
and burn?
30 the default speed?
I can't
We had
remember
last
what it
time?
was. And I got
Seems kind of
I
fast.
accidentally got rid of it. This is all trial and error.
I assume that's like 30 units per second.
5. Look at that. Look at the 2. Whoop. Whoop. Okay,
What's the
that.
maximum things you can jump over? Is it always 2? Did you mess up on the range?
It's random. Max group size is 1 to 2. Minimum spacer. Well, this can go 3, and I'm gonna bring this down to 0.5. Oh, there's the okay. 0.5 is too small. Let's do 1.5. Good night, Sid. Yeah, they're all 3. So there's something wrong with
Yeah,
my...
I think you messed up with the math. On
No,
the
no,
range.
there's 2. There's 2.
Oh.
That's just
Okay,
random
but is
for
the
you.
minimum 1?
Yeah. 3.
Is there a 1?
There has not been yet. And look at all these guys that are not dying. Oh, I died.
Yeah, did you have or did you ever
Min group
I don't know if
size
we
is
ever
1.
made one.
Min group size is 1. Yeah, we have a delete object.
Did we ever make a killer? Delete
Yeah.
object.
That's Deathbringer script. If we touch it, then... So on collision enter 2D, if it's the player. If it's not the player, then we return. But we need to do something different.
Wait, but that's the thing that's on the obstacles, right? Not the cleanup object?
Oh, yeah, we're doing the cleanup object. Delete object. If it's obstacle, then other dot
Okay, yeah, you have
game
you just
object
haven't
dot set
implemented it yet.
active false. It's because we only had one object at that point in time, but now we have a stupid amount of objects.
Well, you probably want to delete the object
Yeah.
as opposed to just set it unactive. But either way, I mean, it kind of works. It's just that it'll still be there, disabled.
Nope, they're not even being disabled.
Well, yeah, you'll. Oh, yeah, it doesn't look like.
Delete object. Where are you? Right here.
Yeah, just say other dot game object.
Where's my collider?
So you'll do destroy, and then other dot game object.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why this isn't actually getting hit. Do you need something, Rach? Oh, okay.
Alright, make sure the box collider. Oh, hold on.
Is trigger.
On collision. Oh, okay. So if it's on, if it's a trigger, you need on trigger enter instead of on collision enter.
Yeah. Get rid of all of this stuff. Man, that does not have a very good random script if it goes... I'm giving it a minimum and a max. No,
Yeah,
it's
I'm a
still
little
not hitting.
suspicious about your minimum.
Hey, don't... It's Unity's random thing, not mine.
Where? Hold on. Can I see the code real quick?
Yeah.
I think. There's
Obstacle producer. Random range. I give it the min group size and the max group size. Min group size is set to 1. Max group size is set to 3.
Okay. So what I think is happening is, let's see.
Between min inclusive and max inclusive. So 1 is a valid number.
Well, it's a float, right? So I believe what's happening is you're always getting a number slightly higher than 1. So you're getting like, 1 point whatever, 1 point whatever, 1 point whatever.
And then it's just
And then
doing
that's
a
just turning
round up
into
of
2.
a ceiling.
Yeah.
We'll see. And we're still not getting the obstacles to delete. There's a 1. Okay, so this one, max spacer, this should be 2.2. So we don't have a splash screen, we don't have a score. Now you got to time your jump because you can't. Your jump does not change based upon how long you hold the space bar. And death does not stop and kill everything. Which, speaking of which, we should probably keep on the obstacle producer, the obstacle... Oh, what do we have? I've already gotten rid of it. Set parent. What the heck am I doing here? Okay, because the obstacle producer, this game object's parent is the obstacles, and I'm setting the parent, so all obstacles will be under obstacles. I didn't think I needed this, but what's going to be... How do I clear everything out? Player dies, delete all...
What do you mean by clear everything out?
The player dies, delete all obstacles that have been generated.
Oh, yeah. If they're all under a parent, you can just delete all children.
Okay, this still works. Well, that's why, but the obstacle producer is under there too, so it would just delete everything there too.
Okay, well then just create a separate object that contains only the things you want to delete every time. And then use that as the parent. And then only delete all the children of that thing.
It's horrible.
But also, like, I mean,
I've named
technically,
things horribly.
if you're going to be making and deleting a bunch of objects, you could probably just use an object pool that would handle that.
That's true.
Just because you don't want, like, the garbage collection to run rampant at all.
Let's see. Where should that live?
Or if you want to go back to your C++ memory management, you could do unsafe. You could flag
This
a
is going
code
to be
block as unsafe, and
private
then do all your memory pointers shenanigans.
list of game objects. And this is going to be obstacles.
You don't need to maintain a list. You could just do for each child in whatever parent delete the game object.
Well, that's I was getting there, but then you said something which made me think of something different. Okay,
Oh.
so we go back and get rid of this. So we gotta set the parent then for this obstacle. So how do I know what the parent is going to be? This obstacles objects. Horrible name.
So you could set it in the inspector, or you could have some way to grab it when you on awake, or you could make it on awake. I mean, yeah, it depends on however you want to do it.
Interesting. It takes transform. Okay, so now
Yeah,
we
it would
can
be the
come here.
transform of the parent.
Okay, and then if we call, so that is actually say, no, that's not in there. So when we die. So what do we do?
Die.
Find objects of type.
Let's see. Oh, so you would probably tell.
How,
So
how do I get
the
this?
script that has the reference, you want to tell that script to delete the children, and then from there you can use the reference, and then do a for each loop.
Delete obstacles, and then for
Did you still have a problem with the death obstacle death collider or whatever?
no. What do you mean?
Was it working? I don't remember.
When the player hits an obstacle, the player goes away, but that's it.
Okay, but the obstacles hitting the back thing doesn't work.
Oh yeah, that's still an issue.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Yes, if, I'm just looking at the manual right now. They're
How do I get the children of this
not
obstacles?
static trigger. Oh, say that again.
So we said here's our obstacle objects, this parent. How do we get all the children in that parent? All Deathbringer objects.
Oh, you just do what is it? It's like I believe it's just like get children, something like that.
There's a get component in children.
Let's see.
This is a game object. Should I be saving it away as something else? Do I need to cast this as something else?
Well, just get the transforms.
Detach children. What does that do? Will that clean them up, or is that
It
just?
it just removes it from the hierarchy. So, like, if you don't want it to be a child,
Uh huh.
it's just like pop it off.
Okay, so I'm still not seeing. Oops. Something to get the list.
What do you mean? You would get the transform of the children.
Yeah, but how do I get each child object to get the transform of that?
It
I have a child
returns
count.
list.
Get child.
Get components and children. Type of transform.
But that's that will get me a particular component, right?
Yeah, the transform.
Okay, so this will get me all transforms.
Yeah, so it's going to get you an array of the transforms. And then for each one, you just...
Okay.
Oh, okay. I think I see what you're asking.
What is item at this point in time? Item is...
It'll be a transform. It'll be the component that you asked for.
But there's no game object or anything else off that transform.
You can't do item.game mode?
No. Cannot convert
here,
from
let me-
object to Unity game object.
Let me write it in my thing. Make sure.
This will give me a transform. So this just gets me a single transform. It's not an array. Get component in parent single. This is just
Oh, it's because you're calling
get components.
get component in children, but you want to get components with an S.
My freaking word.
You want multiple instead of the first one.
It's so stupid. Get component and get
Wait,
components.
why is it stupid?
Oh, it's just named so similarly.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if the player dies, then we need to do this. The player script. The obstacle producer is not a
Okay,
singleton.
well, that makes sense to me.
It does make sense,
I
but
thought you
how?
graphed the-
Yeah.
Well, because sometimes you just want the first one that occurs, and then other times you want like all of them, and then filter through the list.
What do we call it? Is this? Should I be keeping a reference to the obstacle producer inside the player?
No, not really.
I should be just doing a find out there to get it by name or
I
something.
mean, there should be like an event.
Oh.
So there should be like a game manager. So there could be like a game manager.
Well, I
that
feel
just
like
manages all this.
we
and
kind
when
of
the player dies, the manager will tell all the objects that need to know, like, okay, the player's died. Do this.
seen info
And then
scripts.
Each thing will handle like, oh, okay, player died. I don't have to do anything. I have to do something. I have to do this. I do this. Would make more sense, but I mean, we're not going for like the cleanest.
Oh, this is the cleanest you've ever seen.
We're not going for the cleanest code. We're just going for something that works, right? So you can learn things that do stuff.
Actually, I don't want the player script. I want.
I mean, yeah, this is just all off the cuff on the fly.
Oh yeah. Okay, so now we have in my scene info some links to some of these other objects, including the obstacle producer and the player, so that we can pass those things around. The player script, but this is where the die happens. I don't want to create a circular dependency where the player depends on the scene info and I'm going to get rid of the player from here because I don't think the scene info is going to drive anything on the player, but I am going to put that on the child.
Did you ever end up making a singleton on this one? You can always just throw all the stuff onto the singleton.
Oh yeah, I'm an idiot. Yep, that's why I don't have this. And I'm already doing this reset score. And then on here, we have obstacle producer. Void on player death, and then we're going to say obstacle dot delete, and because it's a game object, get component. And actually this
Okay, so I'm going to guess you should throw a rigid body onto the triangle obstacles, and then that should allow the collision to happen.
That's not going to be doing it. Yeah, that makes sense. On start. Why is this script not found? Because my
Whatever. What'd you change?
I didn't call the script obstacle producer script. Called it obstacle producer.
Oh, okay.
Screwed everything up.
I mean, that's impressive that you typed it out entirely, multiple times.
Yeah.
Just auto-completed.
Obstacle producer script delete obstacles on player death. Here we say instance dot on player death. There. Once I die, it will delete everything else.
Okay, but now that you have the shredder thing working, I mean, I don't think that matters, right? Because you can just delete it as they hit the thing.
Scene info. Yeah, that means if you do die, you still got to wait for everything that's spawned to go across to their death.
Yeah.
And so it would just be nice just to clean it up.
Clean it all up. Be safe. Double tap them. Have a second
Wait.
function. Search and destroy. Okay, what are you looking at now?
There's already a collider. There's not a rigid body.
Okay, yeah, add a rigid body. Set it to kinematic.
Body type, kinematic.
Yeah, kinematic just tells Unity that you're going to move it and not physics.
Okay, let's see. Uh-oh. I kind of threw everything else off because I jump. Oh, there's the jump. Well, how did I get a second jump on that? And these guys are not dying.
Oh dang, faulty code. You get a double jump? What's the hitbox on the delete object thing?
They're traveling right through it.
Yeah, is trigger.
Delete object script on trigger entered 2D.
Oh, is the tag set?
Oh, I just deleted it. Untagged.
Okay,
These
so
are
the
all
tag's
these wonderful things you got to think about, right?
Well, because you're checking, so I was like, oh, okay, maybe the tag's not checked, because that's like the only check that it does. So. Well, you can just set it in the prefab. You can set the tag, and then all
Yeah,
the instances
and that way you don't have to
of
worry.
the prefab will have the yeah. Yeah, the whole point of a prefab is to set everything up nice and neat.
And never touch it
that.
again.
Yeah, it just instantiates, and then you're good to go. So you don't have to have some sort of like factory thing. Set it all up. Make the units themselves.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's a problem solved. Although technically, since I think only obstacles will hit that, you don't even have to check the tag. You can just delete whatever hits
everything.
It. Yeah, like literally anything that hits it, destroy it.
Yeah. Okay, we're past time. I think it's time we pwn some noobs.
Alright. I'm just kind of bummed.
Splash
Pause
screen.
there
That's it.
earlier.
I mean,
Maybe
look how cool this thing is, though. This producer.
I feel like if you just sped up things, maybe increase gravity, double gravity, double jump force, increase speed, and then it'd be like a tight knit arcade game.
Can I
How
hit?
can we get double jumps? That kind of bugs me. What'd you do there? Do you have infinite jumps,
No.
or is it just double?
It's almost like I'm hitting that. It's getting hit twice or something. That's cool. I like it. I'm gonna keep the double jump. I don't know why it's here.
All right, it's not a bug; it's a feature.
Exactly. But what we are gonna do is.
I mean, I heard that's literally how combos. Like, was it the first Street Fighter? It was like a bug or something. But they thought it was cool, so they left it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. But now. Yeah, I don't know why they're not doing it. It's not hitting it. The trigger enter 2D is not working.
Oh, it's not?
No. My list is growing. Uh-oh, I jumped too high.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
So this is not actually hitting.
Yeah, it's really weird. I'm not sure. They are all 2D collider stuff, right?
Yeah. Deathbringer, Rigid Body 2D, Polygon Collider 2D.
3D,
And then
yeah.
the Delete Object is a Box Collider 2D. Is Trigger.
Box collider 2D, trigger, yep. Yep.
On Trigger 2D,
I don't know.
Collider 2D, get rid of all the objects, anything that touches it. Oh, we
It
can try
should
this.
Definitely collide.
Let's try just going back for kicks and giggles. On Collision, enter 2D. Destroy. And then we took off the is trigger. So it's still an object. Oops. And they're still going off screen. No, we didn't get deleted in 2 hours. Very close.
All right, well, our third project will be Star Fox.
And we'll have that done in
one
3 hours.
In one session.
No, I actually do know what the next project's going to be.
Oh, what is it?
And it's going to be done in 1 hour.
No way, for sure? Is it Pac-Man?
Plinko.
Tetris? Plinko, what is that?
That's the thing where you drop a circular thing at the top, and it bounces against a bunch of pins or triangles
yeah,
or something.
That's really fun. I like that one.
And then gets into different bins
Yeah,
out of the bottom.
Pegs, it's ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding.
Mm-hmm.
And then you try and catch it, right? With the little...
I really think that's You don't try and
That
catch
one's
it. You
fun.
just wait for it to go, and you're aiming for a certain bin, and you either get it or you don't.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, like
Good night.
in Vegas, they have like a little mini game, like stuffed animals or whatever,
Where you can
where you
catch
like
it.
have the balls and you try and catch it. Because it like goes through the things. It's like really random. It's hard to choose, and you gotta catch it with the little thing.
But I figure it's easy enough to put a bunch of things onto the table, have the player
And
do
let-
left or right, and then hit space to drop it, and then it hits a bin, and you either won or you lost, and that's it.
Okay.
So there's none of this create a screen randomly.
You don't like random generation?
Oh, I love random generation. I'm trying to put it in everything because that's the whole rogue element. But
Yeah, everything's got to be random,
Mhm.
and it also has to scale in difficulty.
mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
depending on their depth. Those are the parameters.
Which we should be able to do. Is there easy ways to set parameters on some of these game objects in a scene based like from another scene, a parent scene? So when you
Well,
start this
so-
mini game, can you hand it a bunch of parameters?
Okay, yeah. So my initial idea, I think I wrote it in the thing, but if not, my initial idea is I have an object, like in a persistent object
Mm-hmm.
that you can basically, it'll hold all the data. So if you want to know like the player's stats, their talents, their depth, whatever sorts of whatever, it'll be under there.
And that gets passed around so that my mini games
And
would have
because it's
access to that.
persistent, it'll always exist, and you'll always be able to grab it. I'm assuming I want to do a singleton with it, so you can just grab it through a singleton. Let's see, do I have it somewhere?
Okay. Well, I'm going to close up this video and I'll meet you guys in Heroes of the Storm. Okay, Blue? While you
Alright.
check that out. Love how I can't even exit Discord. Well, that was programming with Unity. I really felt like we were going to get that done. This random obstacle generator took way more time than I expected it to. I'm sorry. But we're very close. A couple splash screens on how to do that. The player death, how it stops everything. Restart with the restart position. All of that is in the breakout, so I may or may not finish this one up on my own in between. But feel free to look at those other videos and watch those, and depending upon what I do during this week, it may be finished or it may not be. But the next one that we're going to start on is Plinko. So it'll be interesting to see what's doing there. I almost feel like I have to pick a harder one just to try and figure out different game elements that I need to learn how to program. We'll see when that actually happens, though. So until next time, feel free to watch some of my other videos, and as always, make sure you're having yourself a wonderful day. Bye, guys.